Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Buddhist Church of Oakland and to our Thanksgiving weekend Dharma family service. Beautiful day. I think we got some first-timers, we got some old-timers, all kinds. So really excited to be able to be with you here today. I'm Reverend Harry Bridge. I'm the chairperson, I'm the minister, and I'm the sound guy. So if you see me twisting knobs and stuff, that's what I'm doing. We'd like to begin the service with what we usually do, which is Sutra chanting. And so it's on page, well, if it's your first time here, you might want to use the big purple book. And it's on page 93. We're going to be chanting Juseige. If you're comfortable with the small purple book, I think it's just on page 23. 23. Now, we're reciting one of the texts of one of Buddha's sermons. It's actually a part of one of his sermons. And so there's 3 times we're gonna repeat a line. So it goes line 1, 2, 3, say fujo shogak, something, 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 2, 3, say fujo shogak. And we'll do it one more time, and then we'll keep chanting. We do Naman Dabu at the end, and then the echo, and so you can just kind of listen along. If you have the big purple book, it has the translation at the bottom. So if you're doing it for the first time, you might want to read the translation, kind of see what we're going to be chanting about. But I'm going to explain it a little bit during the Dharma message. So, Juseige. Namanda, 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 namanda. Gagon chosegan Hishimu jodo Shigan fumanzok Seifu joshogak Gaomun yoko Fuidai seshu Fusai shobingu Seifu joshogak Gashi jobutsudo Myosho chojippo Kukyo mishomo Seifu joshogak Ryokujin shonen Joe shubongyo Shigumu jodo Isho tenin shi Jinniki and Daiko Fushomu Saido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kaiichi egen Meshi konmoan Heisoku sho akudo
通達禅宗門高僧上満足いよろ実法日月主樹期天候普賢一種解放像公正独法上大集中説法四式供養一切物具足種特本元年出上満特異三害を如仏無下地通達未不詳願学エリク投資最小尊志願や国家大戦を感動国書天人東鎮妙見ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性祭道本菩提心往生安楽国ナモ阿弥陀仏ナモ阿弥陀仏ナモ阿弥陀仏ナマンダ仏ナマンダナマンダ。
Okay, next we will recite the three treasures, and it'll be on the screen. It's also in the small purple book on page 3. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay. Thank you once again for joining us, and I'm going to share my screen. Wow, there's a lot of first-time visitors, I think, and so what I wanted to talk about is kind of part of what we chant almost every time. We do Gasho to Amida too, which is in English, but Juseige that we recited today is one of the things that we chant most often. So let me share my screen. So ultimately, I'm talking about the Hongan, the primal vow, but we'll see if we get there. So last week, if you were here last week, we had a special visit from Little Pup from Buddha Loves You, right? Also known as Pugsley. And so Pugsley has actually been around for at least 20 years and is a very well-read little pup. And so wanted us to know about this book, which is called The Buddha's Wish for the World, and that's kind of what I talked about last time. He also wanted me to share, this is another book by the same author, The Buddha's Gift to the World. And this is Monshu Koshin Otani. So he's actually our former abbot. He's kind of like our Dalai Lama, right? He's his son now is head of our school, and there's a picture of him out in the hall, but this is the father, right? So he's kind of retired Gomonshu, Zenmon we call it, the previous Monshu, the previous abbot, okay? And so I wanted to share that picture. Also, when you go outside and you look at the Shinran statue, and there's a couple of kind of headshots of people on the wall, that's him. A little bit younger in our picture here, I think. But Pugsley wanted me to share this picture. But then, here's what he really wanted me to share. Okay, this picture. This is a book, the 3 Pure Land Sutras. Okay, this is our school of Buddhism's fundamental texts. Sambukyo, Jodo Sambukyo, the 3 Pure Land Sutras. And so, Buddha wasn't a systematic teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. He didn't set out with a lesson plan and each day kind of like a graduated, way to teach things one after another in order. Instead, he spoke to people how they needed to hear. And he spoke to a lot of people. So that's partly why there's so many different kinds of Buddhism, is because that's how he taught. It's called skillful means or hoben or upaya. Right? That he didn't just say the same thing to everybody, just kind of dogma, just do this, don't do that. That's not how Buddha spoke, right? Buddha taught because someone came to him with a problem or a question, and he gave them the answer they needed. But sometimes the answer to the next person might contradict the first answer. So that's part of the complexity of Buddhism, is trying to make sense of it. And if you think it's hard, imagine being in like 6th, 7th century China. People are coming from India, language barriers, some of it looked like Taoism maybe, some of it was totally different, right? So that's part of kind of what's difficult about Buddhism, but it's actually really cool too, because I think that Buddhism is very flexible in that way. It's not just a dogma. I can't just tell you what to do and then you do it or don't do it. It's not how it works, right? That we each kind of have to find our own way through the teachings. So, this is actually my copy of this book, and I've used it to study for over 30 years. And what's really neat about this picture, here, this is a rare picture of Dharmakara Bodhisattva. Not the Buddha in the picture, but the monk kneeling down. So this is part of the story of our school, that there was a king, and he met a Buddha, this Buddha, Lokeshvara Raja Buddha, and realized, I want to be a Buddha too. I totally want to do that. So there's another picture that I'm not going to show you where he's cutting his hair off and taking off his royal robes, and he becomes a monk, Dharmakara, Hozo Bosatsu. Right? So this monk, that's what a lot of the stories are about, is this monk and what he did, what he wanted to do, what he accomplished. So when we just chanted Juseige, it's at his words. It's his words. It's Dharmakara speaking to this Buddha, making his vows. So Juseige is the name of the text we just chanted, right? There's the Chinese characters. So the term for vow that I talked about last week is gan. And I think that's the term we normally think of, right? And I forgot to mention it last week, hongan. Or actually, maybe I did mention it, right? Hongan, the primal vow. But we've all heard that, right? Well, many of us have heard it, honganji. Right? That honganji is the name of our mother temple in Kyoto. There's actually two of them, the east one and the west one. We're the west one, Nishi Honganji. Right? But this term, honganji, and you'll notice the W is silent. Right? A lot of people see this and they're like, hongwanji. But the W is silent. Honganji. Right? And if you were going to complain about silent letters, imagine trying to learn English as a second language, right? It's so hard, so many weird pronunciations, right? So this is one of the few in Japanese where there's a silent letter, okay? So honganji is the name of our temple. So this idea of the primal vow is so important for our school. Now that term gan, there's actually a bigger term, seigan. If you know Reverend Yamaoka, his Dharma name is Seigen. Right? I think it's the same say. It also means vow. So either say or gan or seigan together mean vow. Okay, or promise. So that's what Juseige is. It's a gatha of this deep and heavy vow. Now here's the text. We chanted this, you may remember, right? I did the first line, ga gon cho se gan. And then we all chanted together, hi shi mu jo do, shi gan fu man zok, sei fu jo sho gak. Right? That's the part I wanted us to listen for, right? Sei fu jo sho gak. So, one of the things you might notice, I tried to kind of emphasize there, on that third line, there's a character with just 4 lines. That's fu. But on the fourth line, there's also that same character, fu. Fu is a negative in Japanese, kind of like mu, kind of like he, but this is fu, right? And we hear it at different times. And so you notice that there's 2 of them. And so the first line, ga gon cho se gan, is I have established the all-surpassing vow. The next line, hi shi mu jo do, and will unfailingly attain supreme enlightenment. Shi gan fu man zok, sei fu jo sho gak. I put those together for a reason. So look at it. If these vows should not be fulfilled, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. And I emphasize that, right? The 2, it's the dreaded double negative. Oh no, don't you hate those? The double negative. I never really understood why people didn't like the double negative, right? But we're taught when you learn English, like writing, they say, don't use double negative. It's bad, bad. And I'm like, is it that bad? Right? Does it have to be that bad? So I looked online a little bit, trying to figure out what is this stigma of the double negative. And I think I figured it out. I don't got no money. Right? That's an expression you might hear someone say. I don't think I'd say it, but I might. Okay? And it means I don't have any money. But grammatically, if we look at it, I don't got no money literally means I do have money. Right? But when we say I don't got no money, right, then that means I don't have any money. So this is the kind of double negative, I think, that English teachers and grammarians warn against. To try not to use a double negative when you don't mean it to be a double negative. Okay? So there's a Japanese one that I like. Never give up suruna. Okay, so never give up, you know what that means. This is apparently a teacher in Japan said this to their students, trying to get them to never give up. Never give up suruna. The problem is, suru means to do, suruna means don't do. So when he says never give up suruna, he's basically telling them give up. Even though he was trying to tell them don't give up, never give up. So this is another example of the wrong, the bad double negative. Don't do that. I think we still might, but so that's kind of what I realized, right? That the double negative. So people, grammarians, English teachers, they complain about it when you say it, but don't mean it. Now you can use double negative in a positive sense. So one example, do Buddhists believe in reincarnation? So I don't think you have to believe in reincarnation to be a Buddhist. It's not like a faith commitment, like one of the things you must believe to be Buddhist. But my answer, do I believe in reincarnation? My answer is, I don't disbelieve it. Okay? I don't disbelieve reincarnation. And I mean that as a double negative. I'm not saying I believe in reincarnation, but I'm also not saying I don't believe it. It's a way to soften things, maybe, or say something kind of subtle. I actually kind of do believe in reincarnation, but I know a lot of people don't, so maybe that's partly why I say it that way. Because for some people, it's like, why would you believe in reincarnation? That's ridiculous. We have science. We know that that's not true. I love science. I'm a firm believer in science, but I also believe that maybe there's other possibilities. So as far as reincarnation, I don't disbelieve it. I don't talk about it much. You won't hear me talk about it much here from the podium, right? And I don't really live my life by it either, but I don't disbelieve it either, right? There might be some insights there. So this is what this vow, the Sei Fujo Shogak, is trying to say. If these vows should not be fulfilled, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. So Dharmakara is this bodhisattva who wants to be a Buddha, and he makes 48 vows, actually. And this 3 vows that I'm looking at happens afterwards. He says the 48 vows again in the form of 3. But these 48 vows, they're for his own attainment of enlightenment, they're for what we call his pure land, the Buddha land of the Buddha, and for the beings there. So that beings can be there, but also so that beings, such as myself, maybe even foolish beings, can go to be born there. That's what all those vows are about. And each one says, if this doesn't come true, may I not become Buddha. If this doesn't come true, may I not become Buddha. So the text tells us he did attain enlightenment. He did become a Buddha. Therefore, the vows are fulfilled. Therefore, the vows work. Okay? So it's an interesting system. I don't know why they did it this way. It's in the Sanskrit too, I think. So, but maybe there really is a reason for this. He could have just said, I vow that this be the case. I vow that this be the case. I vow that this be the case. And it would be more straightforward. But we have this interesting text where the Bodhisattva says, if this doesn't happen, may I not attain enlightenment. It might just be a literary device. If we read the sutra, it's a story. And I'm not telling the story well. That's what I kind of like to do, is try and tell the story of Dharmakara Bodhisattva. And I'm not going to go that far today. But this story of a king, it's kind of like Shakyamuni Buddha, the historical Buddha, right? Born a prince, realizes there's more to life than this. I got to find the true meaning of life. I got to find out what it's really all about, and renounces his kingdom, right? And goes off on a spiritual quest. Dharmakara Bodhisattva, same thing. He's a king who realizes there's more to life than just being a king. As powerful as I might be, as incredible as it might be, meeting a Buddha and realizing, oh, I want to be like that. Right? I want to be like Buddha. And then making these vows, making this deep wish to become Buddha themselves and help others. So this is the second one. If for countless kalpas to come, I should not become a great benefactor and save all the destitute and afflicted everywhere, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. So in addition to wanting to become Buddha, Dharmakara also wants to help others. Right? It's not just about himself. It's not a solitary thing. It's, I want to become Buddha so I can be Buddha and help others. That's bodhicitta. I've been talking about that this past year, right? Aspiration for awakening, aspiration to save all beings. If it's only a self-centered thing, only about myself, then it's not Buddha, right? That Buddha is about attaining Buddhahood oneself and helping all beings, okay? And then the third one, when I have fulfilled the Buddha way, my name shall pervade the 10 quarters. Should there be any place it is not heard, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. So here we see the name, right? And so Dharmakara attained Buddhahood, became a great benefactor, and the name Namo Amida Butsu is everywhere, right? Pervading all directions. So that third one, the name Namo Amida Butsu, we've already said it at least 10 times in the service already, right? That's the practice of this school. We actually don't meditate. We don't have to meditate. You don't have to become a monk. I'm ordained, but I'm obviously not a monk, right? I'm married, I have hair, right? We basically live our lives, just live our everyday lives, but in the light of the Dharma, right? Live our lives with the teachings as part of our life, right? And saying the name, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So temple is a place where we can say the name, because I know it's not a normal thing to wander around saying Namandab, Namandab, like kind of muttering the name to yourself. I do it sometimes, right? I remember, see, I'm older than I look. I remember, traveling back around 2000 maybe, and I was at the airport and I saw someone and I thought they were talking to themselves, right? I was kind of like, okay, maybe you don't want to sit next to this person, and they're wandering around talking to themselves. Nope, they had that Bluetooth earpiece thing. Remember those? Does anyone use that anymore? Right? Like, so I realized, oh, they're on the phone. Right? So they got the earpiece, and I thought, maybe you could wear that and just be like, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And people would be like, why is this guy muttering to himself? Oh, he's on the phone. Right? I don't know. My idea never caught on to have the Nembutsu earpiece, right? So that you can be muttering Nembutsu to yourself, right? It's okay. We should, again, this is the place, the kind of opportunity for us to say the Nembutsu, to come here to church, to be together, right? To listen to the Dharma, to be able to offer incense, to chant, and to say the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, right? And so this has been a kind of a rough year, huh? And Thanksgiving, it feels, for me anyway, it's just kind of an island of peace that I've been feeling because I don't do Black Friday, right? And so I could just kind of relax, get a couple days off, right? But also realizing that there's a lot of suffering out in the world, right? Besides wars and the environment continually to be under attack. And so I just really, this aspiration, right? Realizing, wow, I could be awakened, right? That I could see things more as it truly is. And not just for my sake, but to be able to try and help others. That's, I think, part of Buddhism, right? To have that awakened, to realize, whoa, maybe I don't see things as they really are. Maybe, I have biased view one way or another, or all kinds of ways, actually. It's really hard not to be biased. There's so much unconscious bias just from growing up in this country, right? To be able to see through that. I think that that's part of awakening. To be able to realize, oh, I don't see things as they are. I'm seeing it from a kind of certain viewpoint, my viewpoint, right? And to try and go beyond my limited viewpoint. And again, not only for myself, but realizing, wow, I'm not like off in a bubble. I'm in the world with everyone else, right? And everyone I meet, whether it's my family or my friends or strangers, right? All kinds of people realizing, wow, there's a lot going on here, huh? And I have an impact whatever I do. So Buddhism, I think, also teaches us, right, to try and be kind, try and be friendly to those that we meet, to try to be aware, right? Realizing how much I receive all the time, actually, right? And realizing that maybe I don't see things the way they are. And so ultimately, our Buddhism is kind of known as a Buddhism of gratitude, a Buddhism of appreciation. And a big part of that is coming from realizing, wow, Buddha embraces me as I am. Those vows, right, are for someone like me who's not always kind, who isn't free of attachment, right, who doesn't see things as they are. That the Buddha's vows are for someone like me. Right? And if I can realize that embrace, it's already here, it's already coming, right? But I'm not aware of it most of the time. If I can awaken to that embrace of the Buddha, maybe I can change. Right? That is where transformation comes from, I think. It's partly from within. I have to take responsibility for my life and do the best I can, right? But it's also something bigger than just me. It's Buddha's wisdom and compassion, embracing me and changing me. So I want to thank you so much for joining us. We can back up and enjoy Pugsley, or Little Pup. Thank you for sharing this picture with us, this rare picture of Dharmakara Bodhisattva during the causal stage, when he made his vows, when he contemplated and did all the practices to become Amida Buddha. And that Buddha's wish for the world, right? That this wish is for peace for all beings. This wish for peace for all, not just all people, all beings. I mean, it's huge. Right? And one sense is I'm the beneficiary of this wish, but I think also this wish is awakened in each one of us as well, transforming our lives. So I want to thank you very much for joining us. Why don't we conclude the Dharma message with Gassho, and we can recite the Buddha's name together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Okay, we're going to sing a Gatha. Let's sing the Gatha Arigatai. It's in the big blue binder under A. It's the fourth one in the book. And it's actually in English. And Arigatai is this expression of thanks, thankfulness. It's like arigato, right? Japanese.
Sun that keeps us warm, for plants and animals that nourish us. Arigatai. Listen to the voice of Amida calling out to us with compassion. Treat every living thing with kindness, like a mother who loves her precious child. For friends and family who share their joy and care, in gratitude I bow my head. Arigatai. Listen to the voice of Amida calling out to us with compassion. Treat every living thing with kindness, like a mother who loves her precious child. For Amida's gentle love, for Amida's guiding light, for peace and joy we all enjoy. Arigatai. Listen to the voice of Amida calling out to us with compassion. Treat every living thing with kindness, like a mother who loves her precious child. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Okay, now I'm going to pass it over to Robert Noguchi for announcements. Oh, microphone. There. Okay.
Hey, are we good?
Yep.
Hi, good morning. Thank you very much, Sensei. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Buddhist Church of Oakland. Nice to have several guests and visitors today. I hope everybody had a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. And let's see, I have a few announcements. It should be on the screen. First, I guess to begin with, I want to thank Reverend Bridge for his Dharma message today and for officiating today's service. Steve Terasaki for playing the organ. Thank you very much, Steve. And our host 8 group, chaired by Donna Yokomizo. Thank you very much for providing hospitality, not only today for those people at the church, but for the entire month of November, including a couple of special events that we had. So thank you very much to Donna and her group for all the hard work. And also want to thank the Zoom crew for providing the sights and sounds for our Zoom presentation to YouTube, whether you're watching it live or at a later time. So thank you all very much. Announcements as far as that goes. This actually came to me last night. The 2023 Holiday Wreath Sale fundraiser for the Oakland Fukuoka Sister City Association, otherwise called OFSCA, supporting student exchange programs. And there's a flyer on our website, BuddhistChurchofOakland.org, and you have a choice here, things like that. You can order it, but you need to order it by, looks like next weekend, December 3rd. So please get your orders in right away for that. Of course, the big event happening in just a couple of weeks is our annual Mochitsuki, Sunday, December 10th. And orders are coming in. Please get your orders in right away. We're starting to get full on our incoming orders. The deadline is Friday, December 8th, but we may reach the maximum number of orders before then. As far as volunteering and helping, we do need quite a few people to help. It's kind of an all hands on deck event. If you're available to help, please contact either John Takagaki or the BCO office. I think the most we'll need people will be between the hours of like 9 and 1. That's the time that we'll probably need the most people. So please plan for that on Sunday, December 10th. We really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun, and we'll even serve you lunch. So thank you so much for that. And let's see, what else do we have? Going to the Buddhist Churches of America, BCA, Buddhist Churches of America.org. There's a number of different items on that website. This is our national organization, and you'll see talks, lectures, events happening throughout the nation, and most of which are going to be virtual, so you don't even have to leave your living room to participate. So that's the Buddhist Churches of America, Life of Gratitude, BCA, BuddhistChurchesofAmerica.org. Finally, going back to the BCO website, BuddhistChurchofOakland.org, we appreciate and accept all donations of any kind, and you could do it through these donation buttons on our website, our donation page, whether it be today or anything else. Let's see, there's quite a few here. So we appreciate any kind of donation, and we thank you very much for your support. And with that, I'll send it back to Sensei. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Robert. Well, this will conclude our Dharma Family Service. Sometimes we have what we call Dharma Chat, where we kind of get together and have discussion. We don't have that today. Sometimes we have study classes, so you can sign up online, or today, actually, if you want, for emails, so you can find out about those. We have one more service next week. Will be our Bodhi Day service. We'll have Dharma School, so hopefully lots of kids, and also our Shotsuki Monthly Memorial, which anyone is welcome to attend. And then after that is Mochitsuki, and then a couple weeks off, and then New Year's. And we have service on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So we're in kind of a funny time where we don't have service every week necessarily, but we're very happy that you could come join us today. Why don't we conclude the service, and then we can just hang out downstairs. I think there might still be some refreshments, and I'll be available if you want to talk or ask questions or anything like that. I can even hang out here a little bit if you like. So let's conclude our service with Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, take it away, Steve.